right, it's our first ever win against Eastern Michigan. 40-plus points in back-to-back games. It's the first time we've done that since 1981. And our current 5-game home winning streak is the longest since the 1983 into the 84 season. So with that, Coach, we're going to open up with a statement, and we'll take questions from you guys.
Yeah, it was a tremendous game day atmosphere. I tell you, every week, the people come in, and I think they're more connected to this football team, and I know our kids feel that. Certainly was the effort was excellent today in all three phases. I thought our coaching staff did a tremendous job in their game plan preparation. It showed up the way our kids handled themselves and the way they responded. To beat this team was just another important step for us to accomplish the goals that we set forth for this football team in this season. And guys are experiencing how that process works and how we keep our focus on the process and the moment and not moving too far ahead. But you saw today on the defensive side another tremendous effort by a front seven that we knew coming in Eastern Michigan was going to run the ball, control the ball, move the chains. And I thought we did a tremendous job of, playing gap sound, fundamental defense, disengaging in blocks, pursuing the ball, and making great plays. And then they created some takeaways again, and we were able to capitalize on those opportunities, and our offense is really feeding on it. I tell you, I was more impressed with a 99-yard drive offensively. To have that ball sitting on the 1-inch line looks like a kind of a daunting task to get it that far. But I tell you, our kids did a great job. It was a great call by Alex Wood to throw it on that first down play, and they got a pass interference, and that gave us some room to operate. And then our kickoff return team. We've been talking about how important our explosive return needs to be, and Devin Campbell and those guys did another tremendous job. So all in all, it was just a solid victory. It was one in which that I think all of our kids feel very good about homecoming, beating this team, and it hasn't been done in the past. So we're in a good place right now, and now we just got to continue to build on it. With that, I'll open up to any questions.
Jeff, you guys go 7 for 13 on third downs against a team that had been pretty good in third down defense. You convert 7 to 13. The biggest one probably is Bo going 60 right out of the gate.
Right out of the gates. I thought it was a tremendous call. The guys blocked it on the edge very, very well. And I thought they just weren't expecting that kind of play to come at them. And then, certainly Bo's ability to break loose. That was a big-time play, early in the game to really create some momentum for us. But, they're coming in. They held Penn State to one first down on third down, and same thing with Rutgers. So it had our attention all week, and I think our kids rose to the occasion, and I was very pleased with the way they responded in that key situation.
How about Bo overall, to get him going? Obviously, it's the best game of the year, and looked a little bit more like the Bo that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, certainly to be able to see him carry the ball, and we challenged the big guys up front, offensive line, tight ends, fullbacks. He's got that capability, and it's nice just to see him getting that in that flow and rhythm. We trust, and he knows that we're going to be able to call his number, and he's responding, and that's what this team is doing right now. They understand their responsibility to each other, and they're playing hard, and they're playing hard for each other, regardless if Bo gets 100 yards or 150 yards. But we need to continue doing that.
Offense is much easier to run when he's going that way. Always you have so many more options.
Yeah. Well, and I think Joe's done a nice job. Anytime you got a quarterback that can, obviously who's got very good accuracy. I really like the way he's managing the offense and taking care of the ball. We value the ball, and we spend a tremendous amount of time, understanding that fundamental part of the game, and certainly taking the ball away and not turning it over obviously gives you a chance to win these type of games.
Mike, the pass interference call that was called on them, and it was when you guys were at the 1, might that be the worst call that you've ever seen in the history of college football?
No. I've seen some. No. I mean, hey, all I know is this. We were glad to move that ball and have that call. That's a good question, buddy.
Jeff, you talked too about the fluidity of the offense. I mean, you talked early in the year about having so many weapons and trying to find ways to factor them all in, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. But it seems like, just from a play calling standpoint and grouping standpoint, that you guys have started to hit a stride with that.
Well, I think when we first came in here in preseason camp, we talked a lot about having a lot of these guys, weapons, playmaking type of players. And, I'm looking at this. I think there's 7 guys that ran the ball for us today. There may be about that many, 7 or 8 guys that caught the ball. I think our coaching staff does a tremendous job, like I said, getting the good ones out there, playing all the good ones. When you got a lot of them, play them all and try to get them involved in the game plan. And it makes for morale. Let's face it. Kids know that they're going to get in the game. They know they're a part of the game plan, and they're excited about that. And I think that's been a big part of why our football team is feeling the way they are, and they're feeding off that energy.
I assume that you went in there having a pretty good idea that you're going to be able to move it pretty well on the ground. You look just size-wise. I looked it up. You guys had about a 50-pound per player advantage on your O-line to their D-line. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Well, we see those stats, and I think typically offensive lines are always bigger than the defensive front. But, our big guys are moving well. They're exploding. They're getting their pads down, and they're getting their hands fitted correctly. They're playing to the echo of the whistle. I mean, there was a number of plays, and I think Bob referred to that big run by Bo, how the edge just collapsed. I mean, there was just a surge. And, that says a lot about the way the kids have trained, prepared, and their commitment over the course of the last 4 years with Zach Duval and our strength program.
Jeff, what kind of aside from the takeaways that you're getting, you're scoring points off of most of those takeaways. Can you describe a little bit of the sense that your offense gets when those kind of things happen and the game turns around like that?
Yeah, it's energy. It brings a lot of juice to what we're doing. And, there's just such a tremendous feeling to know that our defense not only stopped them but got the ball back, in a split-second moment. And that's one of those opportunistic type of mentalities. And we work on it every single week. How to take the ball away from the offense. Whether you're separating with a big hit, whether you're going up in front of a receiver, whatever it may be. So, that's always been a big part of what we've talked about here. If you look at the previous 7 teams that went to a bowl game last year in the MAC conference, they were all in the plus category when it comes to turnover takeaways. And that's what we've placed a tremendous amount of emphasis, and kids are responding to it.
Coach, can you talk about the importance of the quick offensive start today after the last couple weeks where the offense was a little sluggish early on?
Well, I didn't think last week we were sluggish. It was the fact that our defense was scoring and taking the ball away. So, but it was nice just to see the way we've been able to, just be efficient, be effective and efficient the way we're calling plays, calling the right players in the right place, and those kids understand the game plan. They practice that way, and they're excited about going out there and competing. So, I thought it was just a great sign of what's to come and what they're capable of doing, and that's a sense of confidence and belief that we keep trying to instill in our players.
When you stressed the 3 phases, was today almost a blueprint for how that's supposed to go with the 3 takeaways, the kickoff return, and really the balance in offense between about 228 rushing and 224 passing?
Yeah, that's a tremendous balance, especially that kickoff return. I mean, it's been a while. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been too long. But there's been a lot of firsts that have been accomplished with this football program, and I'm proud of our coaches and players, and they understand, the keys to victory. Every week we dig deep to look at those few things, and we talk about 2 explosive plays on special teams, and we were able to do that. I mean, Tyler Grassman punts it down to the 1-yard line, but it's been a solid team effort. Everybody's weighing in. Everyone is bought in, and that all-in mentality shows out there. And we got to keep that same mindset as we continue our quest.
Talk about the play that Devin Campbell showed versatile.
Yeah, well, he catches the ball, runs the ball, he blocks. He's a tremendous athlete, but high character kid, high achiever, just comes ready every single day, and he has a passion for football. And then that's what I saw and loved about the young man. He's an intense kid. It's just nice to see those kind of players really step up, because that's what we continue to try to recruit here.
Coach, can you talk about the play with the ejections and what you saw from the sidelines there?
Yeah, that's not who we are. I'm disappointed in that. It kind of casts a little bit of a dark cloud over. I just don't want people to have that negative opinion of our players. It was, and we'll address it. We have addressed it with those individual players, but it's disappointing. It's not who we are. It's not what we're about here at the University of Buffalo, and we certainly know that those kids, they regret their decision. They're competitive. They're passionate kids, and it just can't be a part of it. It's not part of the game. It's not going to be who we're about, and they certainly understand that.
Thanks. Another note I forgot to mention when he came in, the 3-2 start is our best start in the modern era since 1999. Best start to a season.